Mario Brothers at the controls. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon, rolling along, doing it every weekday afternoon from 4 to 6 right here in New Orleans. Now, I was just mentioning the Mario Brothers. What do you call it, Mario? A hack?
A life hack. Yes.
A life hack.
Life hack.
All right.
Teaching you all.
No, I got, what's the, don't tell me. The other one is rhyme, slant rhyme. Slant rhyme. Yep. I learned fever dream from these girls. You know, that's your thing, right? Fever dream, your era?
Yes, I know what a fever dream is.
What is a fever dream? Like just crap hitting the fan, just chaos kind of?
But in a good way, right?
Is it? Well, I thought
I might not know.
These two girls, it was like summertime in New Orleans. I was standing in line at that Baskin Robbins on Vets and like Homa.
Yeah.
I'd gone to the kebab house across the street. A parade was actually passing. So I'd eaten the kebab house and I crossed the street because I told the guy at Baskin Robbins I'll pay him $10 if I can park my car just to go grab a to-go from kebab house, and I'll come buy some ice cream when I come back. It's like, sure. So I came back and these two girls were in line in front of me. I say girls like 20 years old, 18. It was summertime. They had on shorts and T-shirts, whatever, but they had on those Uggs boots, the furry ones, you know, and it's summer. And it was chaotic in the store. And one of the girls goes, am I having a fever dream or what? What's going on here, to the other girl? And I was like, sorry, guys. Well, it's a fever dream. And they just said, oh, it's just chaotic in here or something. So I don't know. Maybe they didn't know what a fever dream was.
Lingo is a hell of a thing.
Fever dream, slant rhyme. And what's the latest and greatest hack? What?
Life hack. Yes.
Life hack. You know, I was saying on an iPhone, I don't know about a Galaxy or any of that stuff, but on an iPhone, if you're going to a website that has like a paywall, I guess, up at the top, when you go to that website, once you land on the page, for about 3 seconds, whatever moniker is up there on the page, you know, where you're putting in the info. What do you call that?
The landing page.
Whatever.
Like that, yeah.
On the left of that slot where you're putting in the info of the website, the moniker changes to like this page for about 3 seconds before it goes to this third moniker where it locks into that. If you click on the page, it puts the article in like a page form or something. And most of these paywalls don't seem to have the wherewithal to work around it yet, you know. But since I'm telling everyone about this life hack, it could catch on. It could go viral, right, Mario? Maybe. Viral.
So wait, do you take a picture then, or does it stay?
No. It just stays like, look, I'll show you right here.
The whole article stays
show you
loaded.
Right here, Mario. Let's go to the old NOLA.com, for instance. Okay.
All right.
NOLA.com. Border Patrol to operate in New Orleans. See, there's like a little square box with 3 lines going down the side.
Yes.
So I click on the article and then watch, this page pops up, and see, I didn't catch it quick enough. So the paywall came up.
I see what you're doing now.
I'll hit it again.
Okay.
And then I hit the page and it transformed it into a page form.
Yeah.
See, it's a little different looking. And then the paywall doesn't come up. Now watch what happens if I go off and come back to it.
Oh, wow. I love this.
Look, the paywall will usually kicks in or it'll go blank.
Got you. I've definitely done the desktop version of that, not with that website you're using specifically, but a lot of them, it loads up for like a good 3 to 5 seconds, especially if you have a mouse. It's very easy to do. You just copy and paste the entire article before the paywall comes up. And paste it.
Yeah. Snap photos. I've done that before. Copy and paste. the life hack, it's not probably a good thing for me to reveal it because it could go viral.
Yeah.
There's a back way to the Superdome that to this day most folks don't know about
The baby dome.
that I still take.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the back side of the dome, and
Mhm.
I don't tell anyone how to get there. They'll have to figure it out on their own.
True New Orleanian. I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. You got to keep that one wink, wink, quiet, quiet. All right, Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. That's Mario Brothers, aka Latinx. He's at the controls. Plus, we tap into that brain of his for some sports info every now and then. It's nice to have him right there. Sports info, it's Mario Brothers inside this glass, and there's a hammer. You break glass, and he comes out and gives you the sports info you want. Emergency sports info. Mario Brothers is there. 766-9480 is how you dial us up if you'd like to participate. Checking us out on radio, thanks for doing it. Checking us out on the television set, thanks for doing it. Checking us out on YouTube, Corey Johnson on YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Checking us out on X. Yeah, you're right, Twitter. At Corey Johnson. Follow us on Twitter. And we also posting little short clips on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Follow us there as well. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on all of those different social media platforms. And after the fact, we're on live 4 to 6 every weekday afternoon. At 6 o'clock, you can check out the show on X, on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and now starting today on Spotify, huh, Mario Brothers? Our podcast on Spotify after 6 o'clock.
Audio only, that's right.
Yep. We're moving on up to the east side. Finally getting a piece of the pie. My name's George Jefferson. My wife's name's Wheezy. We have a mixed race couple down the block. Roxy Roker is really incredibly hot. That's Lenny Kravitz's mom, by the way. And her husband's a dorky white dude. Have a great day, everyone. That's the program. It's a Jefferson's themed show. There's no more really anywhere else to go with it, and we're calling it a day. Hey, this 4 o'clock hour this afternoon brought to you by Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. So damn good. One of the finest restaurants in Metro New Orleans. I'm not knocking Ian McNulty. Times Picayune, he does a great job. I don't need Ian McNulty. I'm a New Orleans native, been here my entire life. This is my simple way of figuring out which restaurants to go to, I swear. When a new restaurant pops up, I just wait for a few people I know and trust. I don't have to think about who they are. I just know who they are. Someone could say, oh, you got to go try the Burger King on Oak Lawn and Vets. It's incredible. Best burger in town. If a few people that I know and trust tell me, I kind of get this little mini consensus and I'll go. But I don't go because Ian McNulty tells me to go, and I don't go just if one single person tells me, especially if I don't know them from Adam, or if I know them and don't trust their opinion. A buddy of mine who was in the restaurant business, we call it food porn. We send pictures of great meals, great dishes before we dive into them, or even one bite taken. Might have the fork on the plate. Snap a photo and send it to a friend. Hey, I'm at so-and-so. I'm having the chicken at Irene's. Look, I got the lamb loin at Bayona, that kind of thing. Just not on social media. I might do that after the fact, after I'm home next day. But I send it back and forth to friends. I get this photo, an oval plate with 4 lamb chops in a row, sizzling in butter. I could tell by the photo they were sizzling in butter. I said, damn, where's that? 4 double-cut lamb chops. He's like, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. It's like I'd heard of it. I know Pat Gallagher. Never had been. That was about a year and a half ago. I've been probably 20 times since then, including last Thursday night. Went across the lake with a friend, had a great dinner. She got the trout with lump crab meat, amandine. Fantastic. Perfect. I got the prime New York strip. Incredible. Sizzling in butter. Fantastic. Crab meat St. Francis to start the meal. That jumbo lump crab meat, piping hot appetizer. It's not in our gratin, in this little ramekin, just Incredible. So tasty. Maybe the best crab meat appetizer on planet Earth. No, I love eating out just like most of you do. We're New Orleanians. We don't eat to live. We live to eat. And Gallagher's 527 is a must do. Lunch Tuesday through Friday, dinner Tuesday through Saturday night. Get over to Mandeville. It's 25 minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center. There's no driving on the North Shore. You cross that Causeway Bridge, immediately on your right behind that Shell station, Gallagher's 527 by the Aquista Pace Grocery in Mandeville. Gallagher's 527. I've said this a few times. Two things are going to happen if you go. One, you're going to go, Corey was right. It was fantastic. We love it. And two, you'll be going quite often to Gallagher's 527. 4 o'clock hour this afternoon, brought to you by Gallagher's 527. We got a full slate. Junkett, Cantrell, Jeffrey Vappie, both federally indicted, cannot have contact with each other without an attorney present. For a lot of folks, just thinking about them and contact is really a disturbing thought. A three-way with the attorney, Mario Brothers, I'm going to wreck the car. I'm not responsible for people crashing their vehicle right now listening to the program. Wow. Louisiana attorney Liz Murrell very much supports ICE coming to New Orleans. Yeah, they're coming, a couple hundred agents. Fill you in on that. O.J. Simpson, the juice, having to pay Ron Goldman the juice finally. Ron Goldman's father. Coming right back, New Orleans. 766-9480. Those topics and a lot more next.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger,
and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
Native son, great New Orleans. No, that's me.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
New Orleans native son. No, that's me. That's me, lady.
Yeah, you're right. That's a little Sonny Landreth there, Mario Brothers, coming back from that break. Sonny Landreth. Oh, I'm wondering, did you get all those emails I sent? Did they go to you since I got my email fixed on my phone? That thing crapped out last week. Or is that? Yeah, don't have anything in Outbox. Did you get about 8 emails?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, no. They probably just went bye-bye?
Yeah, just send them over again.
I got to find them. I don't even know where they are.
Yeah, emails on the phone
That
sometimes
sucks.
just go awry. I don't know what it is.
I'll have to do that all over again. Another 30 minutes of my life wasted. Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, I went to the Apple store in Lakeside, Mario, on Sunday at like 5:45. It was brilliant. They had more workers than people trying to get help. Right when I walked in, can I help you? I mean, one girl's coming at me. There's another guy who stopped and went in the other direction who was coming towards me. I look up there, like 5 people looking at me, all in the red shirts. It's like, this is great. Now, I went online. It was like Sunday at like 4. I'm like, Apple store probably closes at 4. I was like, maybe not. And it's like open till 6. I was like, now that's what it should be. And I beelined over there like 5:45 and was seen immediately and was out in 5 minutes. Fantastic. Apple needs another store. You know that old Fresh Market in the old funeral home on St. Charles Avenue and Louisiana? It's a Fresh Market grocery. It's 2 stories. It's really nice. That was supposed to be an Apple store. Like they were very close to finalizing that and it didn't happen. If that was an Apple store, I'll tell you 2 things. One, Lakeside would lose no business. Lakeside would lose no business. And that Apple store in Louisiana and St. Charles would be ridiculously viable. Not only do you have the affluent uptown neighborhood surrounding it, you got the CBD on one side a couple of miles down, and you got Tulane and Loyola on the other side a few miles down. That Apple store would kick butt and take names. Oh, Mario, what happened to the laptop? Man, he's scaring me there. What about the other thing? Still there? You sure? Okay, Mario, I'm just, you got it all together. I see screens go blank. I start pooping in my pants. You know? That's just, what was I thinking about today with, well, yeah, I can't talk about that on the radio. It's talking about, ask me about this during the break, Mario Brothers. Like, I'm like right at the age where everyone younger than me plays video games. Everyone older than me does not. It was like a choice. Am I playing them or not? When I was in college and I sat inside like 8 hours, I thought it was 45 minutes playing like mad. And I was like, I'll never do this again. I don't know how to operate a controller. Social media is very similar. Everyone younger than me kicks butt, takes name at social media. Finally, I'm catching on. Some people are like me, my age, that catch on. Some a little older that catch on. Some most older than me have no clue.
I hear you. Even for people my age that have kind of had to use it, like I don't really care for it. You know what I mean?
No, social media is a lot of negative and just horrible, but it's how it is today.
Yes.
There's less newspapers, less real media, coupled with there are legitimate media sources on it. It's like an AP wire,
Exactly.
UPI old school wire.
I'm glad we're
printing out stories.
I'm glad we're bringing this up though, because we talked about the clips and how good they've been doing, and I told you you're still doing the hard part, man. You're doing the commentary, and people like it. And I've produced a lot of these shows, right? Like I have experience doing this. Some people kind of sacrifice their principles and they intentionally try to go viral and they just try to do clickbaity stuff.
No,
you don't do that, but our city has a lot of hot button issues right now, and you're the first person kind of talking about that on the social media space.
Thank you, and it's long overdue for me to be there.
Yes,
because I sucked at it for so long. What did I tell you day one, Mario, when you came on board? I'm like, you're going to help me get this social media thing going. I was like, content's not a problem for me. Content's a problem for everyone else that does the social media because they're doing it backwards.
Exactly.
They're on social media and like, what am I going to say? I do a talk radio TV show every day in the city of New Orleans. I got more stuff to say than is every day, every sheet chock full of 8-10 different topics, It's endless. Some I don't even get to during the day. Some in the middle of the show, I'm like, too boring, not enough oomph. No one cares. Scratch them off the list, So no, content, not a problem. So no, it's starting to go pretty well.
In other words, it's good that you focused on, doing the stuff that you're good at now. Inevitably, the social media stuff will come. But like I said, you're doing the hard part. So
no, I've got the good foundation and pilings in the ground, and the house isn't going to sink.
Yes.
Just got to build a good house on top of that slab we put down.
Exactly. And all the add-ons come naturally. You're not going to mess up the foundation of the house. I love this analogy.
Yeah. There you go. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. Yeah, Junkett, Cantrell, and Jeffrey Vappie, both federally indicted, cannot have contact with each other, like conversations without an attorney present. Joe Responti, New Orleans attorney, he's going to join us in about 8 minutes, and fill us in on the legal take on that. Speaking of legal, this is sort of interesting. Loyola University, their student court vacated the Student Government Association from prohibiting a Turning Point USA chapter on the Loyola campus. That's Charlie Kirk's group, Turning Point USA. They're on college campuses all around the country. Why would you restrict them? I don't, this is where it gets weird. College campuses are mostly, liberal thinking. I mean, it's youngsters. They're wide open thinkers. They haven't figured things out yet. They're trying to give everything a chance. Would you want colleges to be hyper conservative, like limited? We don't teach this. We restrict. We don't let Turning Point USA in if we don't want to. You want it to be wide open. These hardcore loony leftists that sometimes are on college campuses go too far to the extreme and restrict a Turning Point USA. Now, what's the old cliche or saying? When you're young, if you're not liberal, you don't have a heart. When you grow up and you're older, if you're not conservative, you don't have a brain. I kind of subscribe to that. I was much more liberal when I was in college, and I've become more conservative as I've gotten older, but I'm still not registering with the Democrat or Republican Party. I'm a registered independent since I was 18 years old. When it was time to register, I'm like, I don't want to be associated with Democrat. I don't want to be associated with Republican. That doesn't fit me. I'm an independent. I think independently. I like both parties and I dislike both parties. And if you're a registered Republican or Democrat and that's who you are, that's what you should be. I'm not knocking it. What's for me is for me, not for you necessarily. Anyway, 766-9480. 766-9480. Yeah, Junkett, Cantrell, Jeffrey Vappie, both formally indicted, cannot have contact with each other. I'm going to find out the particulars on that. I know that this was a lower court ruling. They appealed it to a higher court. The higher court agreed with the lower court. Joe Responti with that legal angle coming up. Yeah, and like I was just saying, Loyola University, you shouldn't prohibit Turning Point USA. If David Dork wants to have, the Nazi party on campus, okay, I get that. I get that. Like a hate group, I get that. But Turning Point USA, just a political group, just maybe the opposite of some of the hyper left groups on Loyola's campus. But you shouldn't restrict them. That's the great thing about America. People you agree with, disagree with, like, hate, they have the rights to speak as well. An Athletic New York Times article. This is the title of the article. The Pelicans are the NBA's most unserious franchise. Who's to blame for that? Well, I don't blame anyone's blame. It's the Pelicans are, I think, one of the worst NBA franchises. I told you the records of the last four coaches. It covers 16 years. Those four coaches over 16 years average 44% wins. They are, I don't mean this in a harsh way. They're nice people, I'm sure. They're losers as basketball coaches with the New Orleans Pelicans. 44%. All of them have the exact same winning percentage. It's obnoxious. They just keep hiring the same less than mediocre coaches. And coupled with a front office that either has their hands tied. This article says, who was your boy that got 86, the old general manager?
Oh, David Griffin.
Yeah, David Griffin. Yeah. Twice he was trying to fire
Yup, Willie Green.
Willie Green, and couldn't get it done. That Gail Benson said no.
Man.
Gail Benson's tight with Willie Green's wife, all this. It's like friends and family. And I like that. I dig that. But, it can also backfire on you where it's a little different. But like this gig I have, talk radio, talk television, trying to have some journalistic integrity when going with facts. And then, of course, it's editorial type stuff with opinions. I don't befriend the people I'm covering. I'm not friends with any of these politicians. Don't call them. Don't go to dinner with them. Don't hang out with them. Don't have parties with them after elections. None of that. You can't befriend the people you're covering because it'll skew how you think. And let me tell you something. I don't get off on, grilling people, busting people's chops. It can even be like someone worthless like Junkett Cantrell. It doesn't make me happy. It's actually hard, and it's not fun. It's negative. So I don't take that lightly. There's a responsibility in front of a microphone and a camera. Maybe I'm old school, grew up that way, so I don't take it lightly, and I take this job seriously. And I don't know. I'm not out to get anyone, and I'm not out to kiss anyone's rear end. So I don't befriend the people I'm covering because it makes you, biased. If someone started dogging my mom or my brother or some of my best friends, I'd defend them, and I might not be fair and objective about it. Might go overboard on trying to justify their actions because I know the good side of them. I love them. So I'm not going to be fair, objective about it. Joe Responti joins us next. Every day, this program, 4 to 6 o'clock on radio, TV, YouTube, X. Brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. The big store, Lamarck Ford, for 45 plus years. Lamarck Lincoln, #1 Lincoln dealership in the state. You need a commercial truck, van, or SUV? Head across the parish to Elmwood. Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway for over 80 years. No, it's too easy. You're looking for an F-150, a Mustang, an Explorer, a black label Lincoln SUV. The Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra. Looking for a commercial van, SUV for your business? The Lamarck Crescent City Ford dealership on Jefferson Highway in Elmwood. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Joe Responti joins us next. A judge backs up the other court. Junkett, Cantrell, Vappie. No
Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Hey, Marigny, Bywater, Treme, French Quarter, CBD, Warehouse District, Garden District, Irish Channel. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City, Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us. This guy joins us on the program sometimes every few weeks, at the worst, maybe every other month. New Orleans attorney Joe Responti joins us. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Corey. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Still slugging it out, man. Still working.
Yep. By the way, folks, Joe is a true Renaissance man. You can call him Dr. Responti. He's almost a dentist, right, Joe?
Yeah, the back in another life. That's right.
You finished dental school?
I left Mardi Gras my senior year, passed the national boards, but a doctor sat me down and said, do you like doing this? You're going to be doing it every day of your life. And I said, I really don't like. So I left and then took the LSAT 3 months later and got into Loyola Law School. And
wow.
The rest is history.
That is history. That's unreal. Dental degree and a law degree. There are not many of those out there.
There's a few. A lot of MDs, MDJDs. I'll tell you that. Just a few DDSs though.
A federal magistrate judge has denied Mayor LaToya Cantrell's request to allow contact with Jeffrey Vappie. A lower court had ruled on this, and LaToya Cantrell, Junkett Cantrell appealed it.
Well, it's not like a lower court. What happened is it's right now it's in the magistrate level. Magistrate judges there's I think 5 of them over there in the Eastern District appointed by the federal district court bench to handle matters like this, pretrial matters, arraignments, first appearances, things like that, and a few other things. But what happened, and I may have this order incorrect, I should say, but Vappie got indicted first, if you recall. And his attorney, Harry Rosenberg, said, hey, I know you said that he's not supposed to be in contact with her, but they're really close friends, whatever, and they want to be in contact. So for a while there, Vappie was allowed supposedly to be able to talk to LaToya Cantrell, who at the time was just a possible witness in his case. Then time passed, and she was indicted in a superseding indictment, made a co-conspirator. I shouldn't say that word, but made a co-defendant, and that's a whole different animal. So at that point in time, the magistrate that she was assigned to said, you can't talk to Vappie, which is incongruent with that ruling. So I think the first magistrate said, well, Vappie, you can't talk to her either, so we're going to make it even. Okay, so there was an order in place for neither one of them to be able to associate with each other unless an attorney, an officer of the court was present. Then this appeal came up, and Mr. Castang filed and said, oh, no, Judge, they should be allowed to talk to each other. And that is what was heard today.
Cantrell's attorney, Eddie Castang, argued the court must impose the least restrictive conditions of bond. He noted that Cantrell and Vappie are unlikely to have a speedy trial because the court set a date nearly a year away. Castang also told the court that Vappie previously cut Cantrell's grass and that the two occasionally had lunch together, saying their contact would not harm the government's case. Does a judge look at this in a vacuum, or does a judge know the reality of outside of the court in that very moment and kind of would laugh at Castang's, Vappie cuts her grass and they have lunch every now and then? I mean, like totally de-emphasizing the relationship, right?
Well, Eddie's there advocating for his client and doing the best he can. What I think is important here is that in just about any case that I could never remember a case where the defendants were allowed to talk to each other. I'm sure there's some cases out there. I mean, like possibly parents and a child, or some caregiver, or some relationship professional, whatever. That there's a special reason that these two people, that is in the interest of society, that they still be allowed to communicate about certain things. But I'm saying I don't ever remember having a case like that. The standard operating procedure is co-defendants can't talk with other co-defendants, because many, many times, as is the case here, they've been accused of doing some crime together. They colluded to do something, which is the allegations here.
Yep.
And to allow them to be in each other's presence, and not being supervised by attorneys or anybody else, the court would deem that to be too fraught with pitfalls. Whereas if we just say nobody can talk to anybody, it's not like, a horrific, unbelievable burden, because in my opinion, the judge would say, just because you can't talk to this one person for the time it takes for this thing to come to trial, it's not the end of the world for you. And the interest of justice is better served by you two not talking to each other.
Yeah, the feds agreed, basically, Joe. They countered that communication between Junkett, Cantrell, and Vappie could allow them to collude to continue defrauding the government. They also raised concerns that Cantrell and Vappie could marry and avoid testifying against one another. Castang maintained the pair are not married and described them as friends, arguing the order is overly restrictive.
I would think that if they went and got married for the purpose of whatever, to do something to circumvent the rule of court, that the court would be able to seek a remedy to that. That's just me not doing the research on that, because as you may suspect, that kind of stuff doesn't come up every day. But that would have been one for the law school exam, because I never seen anything like that. I'm sure it may have happened, though.
I mean, Castag's basically saying, hey, they're just friends. And the feds are saying, hey, our case is built on that they're in a, relationship. Right. Does the judge just look at that on face value? Like, the Vappie's, Cantrell's attorney says she's innocent. The feds say she's guilty. That's what a trial's about. Or does the judge make a judgment on what's out there that it appears they're in a relationship?
Well, I think what the judge is looking to do is, as magistrate judges, let's get the parties to trial in the least, with the least amount of pitfalls. And the best way to do that, to avoid, allegations of collusion or allegations of this, that, and the other, is to say, you just can't talk to each other, period. And if you do, you're in violation of my court order. That simplifies life for everybody, and the inconvenience that it puts them through is not such a burden that the court would have to acquiesce to their wishes.
This isn't a legal question, obviously, Joe. Just real quick, how long you been married? I know it's a long time.
Just made 40 years in August.
I mean, that's just awesome, man. Congratulations. That's incredible. But it goes to show you, like, you're in a relationship with your wife who you love dearly, and she loves you dearly. It's gone on for 4 decades. there's a connection, this human connection. You know, I'm married, divorced. I've been in multiple relationships with girlfriends. I like having a relationship with someone I very much like or love. It's not easy to find that as a human being. So you're fortunate. People in relationships are fortunate. I'm sure I'll find it again, but it's not easy. The point I'm making, from what we know on the surface outside of all this, and people can say, I don't give a crap about them and their relationship. It appears, fair and objectively speaking, the facts and info we know, it'd be a reasonable conclusion to have that Cantrell and Vappie are in love. The feds have this notebook where they're writing to each other, the texts, hiding the text, getting an app that supposedly the feds can't find it, what they're texting each other, romantic relationship, I don't care. That's good for them. My whole point, Joe, just not a legal point of view, human beings in love that want to be with each other. I mean, could you imagine being away from your wife for a year? I mean, it's got to be very difficult for LaToya Cantrell and Jeffrey Vappie. And I would think most of this, let's let them get together and communicate, is because they love each other. But, like the feds say, you got to be careful of them colluding or getting married where they couldn't testify against each other. What are your general thoughts on that? That's got to be tough on them personally if they're in love.
Sure, and I get it, but there's a lot of guys doing stints in the Middle East right now who are been separated from them. I'm sure they get to talk on the phone and all that stuff.
That's a great point.
Life's tough. People are in prison. They're separated from their children. And and lies, but I mean, that I could think of those things are unbelievably hard, but people do it every day.
Yep.
And this is, hey, this is kind of the government would say this is kind of self-imposed.
Yes.
Like the Menendez brothers killing their parents and then throwing themselves on the mercy of the court because they're orphans. You did this,
right?
You all did this. And you try to cover it up, et cetera, et cetera. That is the very predicate, one of the predicates of the government's case. They need to prove, or that will go a long way in proving the elements of the crime, is to have to prove their motive, their mens rea, the reason why they did what they did. So it's all intertwined. So I agree. Eddie Castaigne may get mad at me, but I think I agree with Judge Roby's decision that all things being considered, it really is standard operating procedure, number one, although that it should be looked at in a case-by-case basis.
Yep.
But in the big picture of things, sorry, suck it up. This is the ruling we're going with.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to change.
I don't either. And I wasn't trying to garner any sympathy for Junkett Cantrell. I was just stating as human beings, that's I think her motivation it's got to be tough. And you're right. They made their bed, they get to sleep in. And I thought the point about the military protecting us in the Middle East or wherever they might be, yeah, they're separated from their family. And anyway,
it's the nature of the beast.
Yep.
And she's got a lot of free time on her hands. She looks like she quit being the mayor quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Certainly after election night, she didn't go up to Baton Rouge to negotiate anything. It was Elena Moreno
and the council,
everybody else.
No, thank God. It's better for her to be away. Hey, Joe, we'll check you out next time, and every Tuesday morning on Fox 8, right?
Yes, sir. 7:45, Corey.
Joe, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Thank you.
That's New Orleans attorney. He's also a dentist. It's Joe Responti.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Lawn artificial turf custom golf putting green. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And oh, someone didn't pick up the dog shit.
Yeah, you right. Welcome back. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. I want to thank Joe Responti for joining us. Always making sense of these legal issues and why judges do something or don't and all of that. 766-9480 is the phone number. Yeah, full slate. Junkett, Cantrell, Jeffrey Vappie, both federally indicted, cannot have contact with each other unless an attorney's present. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill very much supports ICE coming to New Orleans. This is a quote from Liz Murrill. New Orleans has seen a high number of violent crimes committed by illegals. Really? I can think of like 3. The woman who was murdered, the guy who ran into Mark Dean, the WGNO producer on his motorcycle on the bridge. What else? There's a third. The guy on was the guy on the side of the road killed by an illegal or not? I don't know if that was the guy who worked for LODT, the Louisiana Department of Transportation Development. He was in like helping someone fix a flat tire on I-610. I mean, I'm struggling to come up with them. So, New Orleans has seen a high number of violent crimes committed by illegals. No, they haven't. There's some guy on Twitter. I shouldn't even reply back to him. He's just, he's extreme, wacky right-winger, and everything's a lot, too many, so much. He just exaggerates and embellishes. If it's like 1 or 2 things, he says it's hundreds, and it's just wrong. And that's the problem with social media. Folks just throw out these premises. I mean, this is how just life works. You throw out a fact-based premise. Then you come up with a second fact-based premise. And that can lead to a logical, fact-based conclusion. When the foundation, when these premises are just false, blatantly false, like 110% incorrect, and they're just thrown out there. Okay, the earth is flat. Jewish space lasers. You can't come to a logical, fact-based conclusion on that. So, Liz Murrow, New Orleans has seen a high number of violent crimes committed by illegals. Folks are like, yeah. And they think about Mark Dean, who I was friends with when I worked at Channel 26. Super sweet guy. It sucks. Could have been anyone hitting him. Just this, boy, someone got killed or raped or murdered or whatever, and an illegal did it. The chances are better a regular U.S. citizen would do it. Regular U.S. citizens commit more crime per capita than illegals or migrant workers. It's not even close. So, I mean, that argument's just so dopey or silly. No, it's not, Corey. If your mom was killed by a drunk driver who was an illegal, you'd think differently. No, I would think that I would bomb, and maybe I would attack the illegal emotionally, and then over time, logic would kick in, and I'd be like, could have been anyone drunk that did that. So, the argument, like, if there weren't illegals here, that wouldn't have happened. No, someone else would have done it. A citizen would have done it. The crime level is what it is. Illegals or non-illegals. So, I mean, these are just silly arguments, especially when you think about the other side. Meat, poultry, pork, chicken, produce, seafood, fruits, vegetables. I mean, all of this dominated by illegal aliens, migrant workers, and most of it, all of it, like the same percentage of migrants, illegals, it's a greater percentage that it's owned by conservative Republicans, these companies. Liberals aren't owning farms, generally speaking, or meatpacking plants or whatever. And I'm not dogging conservatives or liberals, just how it is. You want liberals, go to Hollywood or entertainment, people that, have talent like artists. You want conservatives, you go to the bank. You got entrepreneurs, business people. It's just how it is, not good or bad, just how people gravitate towards things. So I just think these premises are bogus. New Orleans has seen a high number of violent crimes committed by illegals. No, New Orleans has seen a low number of violent crimes committed by illegals. A low number. The vast majority of violent crimes are committed by citizens in New Orleans, not illegals. Absolutely crazy. An Athletic New York Times article. Basically, I mean, Mario, that article is basically everything I've been saying for a long time. You too. The Pelicans are the NBA's most unserious franchise. Who's to blame for that? And who's to blame is easy. It's the Saints. I mean, the article talks about this specifically. It seems like such a minor point, but it's a massive point. The Saints own the Pelicans. No one would ever say Gail Benson owns the Pelicans and the Pelican organization owns the Saints. That would be like ridiculous. But saying the Saints organization owns the Pelicans, that totally makes sense. And the way the Saints operate, because it's small market New Orleans, they're worried about every single angle. They know the pie is only so big. They know the pie is only so big. So to have a second major pro sports franchise is a very tough juggling act. And the Saints are the bread and butter. Mario, anything the Pelicans do that could possibly harm or take away from the Saints aren't going to do for the Pelicans.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. They're second fiddle always.
That's how it's been. Maybe if they were ever like halfway competitive enough to do something like that, you can make the argument that they wouldn't. But based on their actions and based on the non-search that took place before they hired Joe Dumars, like all those criticisms are 100% valid.
Mario, I would say if the Pelicans were a 50-plus win playoff team and the Saints were struggling like they are right now, and there was something that would help the Pelicans go further in the playoffs, and could possibly hurt the Saints' recovery, they would not do that.
That's fair.
They would not do that.
That's fair.
But if Laney Schwest owned the Pelicans, or Todd Graves, or, Bill Goldring, Davison, the guy up in North Louisiana, that billionaire, they'd be essentially competing against the Saints.
Yeah.
They'd be competing against the Saints. It would make the Saints better, and it would make the Pelicans better.
That's the dream. And a lot of people are talking about relocation right now because it's low-hanging fruit and because the lease does end.
I don't think any of that's going to happen.
Exactly.
That's one positive with Gail Benson.
But is that really a positive, though? Because you're stuck in this endless.
Suck.
The team will stay. You'll always have
suck.
NBA in New Orleans, but you'll have more fans when they play the Lakers rooting for the Lakers. Like, it'll be an endless loop of just ineptitude, and I'm starting to wonder if that's really worse than relocation.
And I'll tell you this too: whoever buys the team's going to have to buy both.
Yeah,
because the Gail Benson, the Saints organization, is not going to sell the Pelicans to Todd Graves, and then he's going to be directly competing against the Saints for marketing, advertising, ticket sales, suite sales, corporate money, all of that. Not going to happen. No, it's a bummer. It's just a fact. I mean, I like Gail Benson. I like her loyalty to the city. I like that the teams will probably never move. But also, I think it's safe to say in 2025, the New Orleans Saints of the NFL are a second-rate NFL organization, and the Pelicans of the NBA are like a third-rate NBA organization, like bottom of the barrel. Something's got to change. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm. 5 o'clock powwow coming your way next. Stick around. A lot more to come.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock powwow coming your way. That's right, number 9. It is indeed New Orleans, Louisiana. The 5 o'clock powwow this afternoon brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? It's 5 minutes after 5. As New Orleans as it gets. Where are you going for dinner tonight? Katie's. Dine outside. They got tables wrapping around the building, going down Iberville, going down Telemachus. They're right on the corner of Iberville and Telemachus. And now Katie's has a wonderful patio right inside their building with a 90-plus inch flat screen TV out there. The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant. New Orleans specialties, old school, and so much local, fresh seafood. Not only on the menu every day, but specials. Scott Craig lets the seafood purveyor dictate his menu for the day. More is better. More of the good things tonight for dinner. Katie's in Mid-City. Grab dessert at Katie's, or after Katie's, go to Angelo Bricato's on Carrollton. Get a little ice cream cone. New Orleans, man. How special. What a great place. Seriously. Angelo Bricato's, Katie's, all these just great spots, neighborhood joints. We're lucky. Got a lot of that. It's a blessing. Hey, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls. He's fielding your phone calls, too, if you want to dial in, question, comment, anything. 766-9480. If you go to my website, CoreyTalks.com, it's got all the different ways to check us out on radio, on television, on social media. After 6 o'clock, after we're done for the day, we're live 4 to 6 o'clock every weekday. Right at 6 o'clock, you can check out the show on X, on YouTube, and Spotify. Check out the podcast, 6 o'clock every weekday on Spotify. Yeah, you right. Joe Responti joined us last hour. Junkett, Cantrell, and Jeffrey Vappie, both federally indicted, cannot have contact with each other without an attorney there. These two apparently are in love with each other, in a relationship. It's got to be painful, but you got to pay the piper when you commit federal crimes, when you break the law, when you're a criminal, when you're just obnoxious as hell. Seriously. Just the stuff that wasn't against the law, that was just friggin' obnoxious. Like the Pontalba apartment, which might be against the law. That was just obnoxious, just taking over the apartment. Just pathetic. That's just how Junkett Cantrell thinks. Just petty. What can I take? What can I get for free? What can I steal? What can I get away with? I'm going to go on these junkets. I don't care how ridiculous they are, how repetitive they are. I'm going to fly first class. I'm going to go on these junkets. I'm going to bring flunkies from my office or maybe Vappie, and we're going to travel the world. We're going to go first class. We're going to stay in hotels because I'm the mayor and I can get away with this crap. Because, hey, y'all, my 15 minutes of fame is going to be up after I'm mayor. not going to be able to get a real job, not going to be able to get real money, don't know what I'm going to do. So I got to take advantage of this 15 minutes because soon that fame will be gone. Just the meals on the city, just, drinking too much in public, just pathetic. Just a sad human being that literally needs medication and needs psychiatric help. I hope for the best for LaToya Cantrell in that regard as a human being. But no, as seeing Vappie and maybe going to jail and all that, you made your own bed. You got to sleep in it. And the citizens suffered. And it's like you in the Mardi Gras parade, flipping off everybody with that face and the middle finger. You've been doing that to the citizens of New Orleans for years. For years. It's obnoxious. It's sickening. It's pathetic. It's weak. It's immoral. It's unethical. No honor, no pride. I mean, you want me to go on and on? No, this woman is pretty much worthless. Just like a friend of mine would say, a piece of garbage. So no, the judge ruled right, in my opinion. And Joe Responti, who is a legal expert, concurred. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill very much supports ICE coming to New Orleans. A quote from Murrill: New Orleans has seen a high number of violent crimes committed by illegals. No, we haven't. The facts are we have not. That is factually incorrect to say New Orleans has seen a high number of violent crimes committed by illegals. I do talk radio for a living. I can think of like 3 violent crimes committed by illegals. And a couple of them are accidents, like hitting the guy fixing the tire on the side of the road, killing Mark Dean on his motorcycle on the bridge. These weren't like murders, like violent crime. These were accidents, unfortunate. And I'm not taking up for any illegal alien that committed a crime. Criminals, accident or not, violent crime or an accident, need to go to jail, need to pay the price for their crime. That's how America works. I just, people that go on social media, read articles, folks that are pro-ICE and think illegals are a major problem, they will make quotes that are factually incorrect, like Liz Murrill's. New Orleans has seen a high number of violent crimes committed by illegals. No, we haven't. We have not seen a high number. We've not seen a high number. It's the opposite. It's a very low number of violent crimes committed by illegals. Am I right or wrong? 766-9480. 766-9480. About 200 Border Patrol agents are coming to New Orleans. We have north of 100,000 Latinos in Metro New Orleans. About 1 out of 9, 1 out of 10 of us are Latino. ICE says it does not need a warrant to make an arrest. It may conduct consensual encounters or briefly detain individuals when they are reasonably suspicious of them. What is reasonably suspicious? That's so arbitrary. The reason I mentioned we have 100,000 Latinos, because that's what it's all about. This is Kenner Police Chief Keith Conley. We brought them in he's talking about ICE. Kenner Police Chief Keith Conley said his department recently worked with Immigration and Customs Enforcement for a raid operation at the city boat launch. Here's the quote. We brought them in, ICE, because we knew there was going to be a large amount of Hispanics out there. We have had ICE assist us with some gang activity or some gang affiliation that come through the city. We brought them in because we knew there was going to be a large amount of Hispanics out there. That's a great message by the Kenner mayor. By the way, Kenner is probably the #1 destination for Latinos in Metro New Orleans. Pre-Katrina 20 years ago, Gentilly had a huge Latino population. It's pretty much gone out of Gentilly. Kenner has had a explosive growth of Latinos. I mean, go down get off I-10, go down Williams Boulevard towards the river. I mean, it's maybe more Spanish Latino signage than English. So for the Kenner Police Chief, I mean, this is overtly racist. We brought them in, ICE, because we knew there was going to be a large amount of Hispanics out there. Yeah, there are 100,000 plus in Metro New Orleans and tens of thousands of Latinos living in Kenner. We brought them in because we knew a lot of white people would be there. We brought them in because we knew a lot of black people would be there. Could you imagine that? We brought them in because a bunch of Jews would be there. We brought them in because a bunch of Italians were going to be there. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. This is the police chief in Kenner. We brought ICE in because we knew there was going to be a large amount of Hispanics out there. Wow. Absolutely insane. Hey, Latinos that live in Kenner, put one of your own up as police chief next time. At the very least, don't vote for this Conley guy. Just insane. Insane. I don't know about you. Do we have illegals in New Orleans and Louisiana? You bet we do, like 50, 60,000. That's it. 4.5 million people, and we're worrying about 40, 50, 60,000 that only contribute. Again, Latinos commit more crimes. I shouldn't say Latinos. Illegal aliens, migrant workers commit more crimes per capita than regular U.S. citizens. And that is a fact, not a guess or my opinion. It's fact. It's a fact. No, this is, you want to know what's the worst part about all this? It is strictly political fodder. It's how you win elections. You come up with some problem that may or may not exist. Then you make it, you make it much bigger than it is, if it even exists at all. Then you double down. You like, your problems in life are because of these people. And then you get people foaming at the mouth. And what sadly these politicians are doing, they're distracting us from the things that are important to us, like economy, money in our pocket, our kids getting a good education, safe streets, infrastructure improvements, things like that. It distracts away from the hard work where you got to tighten up your belt. And we got to do these things. Instead, it's be mad at the illegal aliens. That gets people motivated, gets people voting. But I think it's a big farce. I think it's a political joke. Are there problems with some illegals? Sure. Are there some illegals that are violent criminals? You bet. But like any criminal, citizen or illegal, I want the violent criminals arrested. That's all. Criminals arrested, no matter who they are in the U.S. Hey, we're fading into 2026 in about 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Maybe it's a new year, maybe a new job or career for you. Go to the Latrim website right now. Latrim is spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M. For a full listing of positions available, could change your life in the new year. Latrim.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe. Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, sir.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. 5 o'clock powwow. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. A slew of topics. Junkett, Cantrell, and Jeffrey Vappie, both federally indicted, cannot have contact with each other. They have to have an attorney present. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill very much supports ICE coming to New Orleans. About 200 Border Patrol agents are coming to the city. O.J. Simpson's estate agrees to pay Ron Goldman's father nearly $58 million. Fred Goldman to get $58 million from the juice. O.J. Simpson. What a strange dynamic that whole thing was. I mean, O.J. Simpson, like in the 60s, you know, married to a black woman, beloved by the black community. And then he becomes an NFL running back with the Bills and apparently starts gravitating towards everybody, not just black folks, but white folks. That starts dating white girls, starts hanging out with a lot of white folks, and black folks started not liking O.J. Simpson, and white folks started liking O.J. Simpson. Like, I grew up, you know, the Buffalo Bills, great running back. Then he retires, and it's the Hertz commercials running through the airport. You know, the Naked Gun movies. I liked O.J. Simpson. And then following like the trends of America. I mean, I'm not looking at it in a race way at all. I liked O.J. Simpson just because I liked him, not because this black guy's assimilating with whites. I liked him as an athlete. I liked him as a kid. He's running through the airport, jumping over chairs. Hey, there goes O.J., you know. Funny in the Naked Gun. I'm like, this guy's versatile. He seems like a good guy. And then he murders his former wife and Ronald Goldman viciously. And white America turns on O.J. Simpson, and black America starts to embrace O.J. Simpson. And then when O.J. Simpson was found not guilty, a lot of white America freaked out, and a lot of black America celebrated. I remember the video of white people like in a group just bumming, and then show like a black university or a group of black people together, and they're cheering. And for me, it was really simple. I remember like some of my white friends and some black friends with their opinions on this. Man, I can't believe, you know, black folks are celebrating OJ being found innocent when we know he's all guilty. I'm like, the black folks know he's guilty. Black folks aren't celebrating OJ being innocent like, hooray, he's innocent. We believe he's innocent. We believe he didn't murder Nicole Brown Simpson or Ronald Goldman. No, black folks know OJ Simpson murdered both of them in a vicious manner. What black folks were celebrating is, wow, one of us, a black guy with money, with power, with fame and fortune that can hire the best attorneys, he can get away with murder like the white guy has done in the past. That's all. That's what black folks were cheering on. I don't know why it's so confusing. Black folks weren't like, OJ's innocent. Black folks were like, finally one of us, a black person in America with the things these white people have, power, influence, money, can hire the best attorneys. He got away with murder like these Robert Blake, whatever, these other people that have murdered someone that are white. That's all it was. It was like, we're kind of arriving. We're arriving as a race. A black person that murders, that has power and, fame, fortune, wherewithal, they can hire a great attorney and get away with murder sometimes, like the white guy does sometimes. That's all that was. Period. End of story. No black person was celebrating, thinking O.J. Simpson's innocent. And if they were, I'm sure there's some white people that think O.J. Simpson is innocent. You're an idiot. You're just ignoring the facts that are out there. I mean, I love OJ. Like, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to finding the murderer. That lasted like 5 minutes. You're the murderer. You want to, you got to laugh at things in life. Go on YouTube and pull up Norm Macdonald, OJ, Saturday Night Live. When he was doing like the news on Saturday Night Live, Norm Macdonald basically got fired from Saturday Night Live because Michaels, the creator of Saturday Night Live, Lorne Michaels, was friends with O.J. Simpson and Kardashian and all these guys. So he told Norm Macdonald, stop with the O.J. jokes. And Norm Macdonald, every episode would, the Pope wrote a new book. It's about bringing the church to modern standards and uniting all Catholics around the world. The book's called, Of Course O.J. Did It. What do you think? I'm stupid? Things like that. Just relentless all the time, every week. They are hysterical, though. No, you got to laugh at this crap. O.J. Simpson's estate agrees to pay Ron Goldman's father, Fred Goldman, nearly $58 million. No, O.J. Simpson's a piece of crap, piece of garbage. People change. He turned into just a wife beater, vindictive, jealous, just an insane individual. I mean, look locally at Vince Marinello killing his wife. She was going to divorce him. He felt like he was going to be embarrassed, or people were going to look at him in a weird way. He's never going to get a young girl again. I don't know what he was thinking, but he lost his mind, wasn't rationally thinking, and murdered her. He's got to pay the price. Go to Angola, where sadly Vince Marinello died. But that's where he made his bed. He has to sleep in it. O.J. Simpson got away with murder. But what I love about O.J.'s story is later, a few years later, there's some folks that are selling his memorabilia, and he hires a bunch of idiots like thugs, and they go storm this room to go collect his memorabilia. His or not, that's not how you can do it. So that petty crime, he served 10 years in jail for that. I love it. That's just like justice. O.J. Simpson deserved to be in a cage for 10 years for brutally murdering Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. It was sick. Don't want that person out on the street. The Athletic, the New York Times has a article. The Pelicans are the NBA's most unserious franchise. Who's to blame for that? Check it out. Stuff we've been saying for a long time. Basically, the Pels are the Saints franchise, the Saints NBA team. They'll always be second fiddle to the Saints. The Saints will never do something that would benefit the Pelicans, but could possibly hurt the Saints. I'll tell you a true story. And it just shows you how clueless John Alario is. And it also shows you what he could get accomplished if he was, had some ethics and morals. But it was ready, fire, aim. We have the Zurich Classic, the PGA Tour Stop. The 4 Kids Foundation, this charity, runs it. Every year, the 4 Kids Foundation, with tickets and proceeds raised. Zurich, the incredible sponsor. We're so fortunate to have this European sponsor for our European city. Great match. Millions of dollars annually given to kids' charities. It's a nonprofit. It's a great thing. The 4 Kids Foundation realizes the pie in New Orleans is only so big. Second part of the story. John Alario, West Bank, gets the TPC of Louisiana golf course built indirectly. He's part of it. The The plan, Zurich put $1 million plus, the PGA Tour, few $1 million into the City Park South redo. That course opened about a decade ago, $30 million golf course. And that's only phase one, like a playable course that's ready to go. But the real championship course is a phase two, putting another like $5-8 million into the course. And the PGA Tour stopped moving from the TPC on the West Bank to City Park eventually. The course was built and designed for that. And the TPC is getting long in the tooth. It's been there more years played at the TPC than English Turn. And the pros loved English Turn most of the time. No pros liked the TPC practically. So anyway, John Hilario didn't want to see the TPC lose the pro golf tournament. So pretty much all on his own with some help, insiders helping him, he gets this accomplished. A senior PGA Tour event in the fall that would be at City Park South Golf Course. So the senior PGA Tour event would be there. That way the PGA Tour would never move to that venue. It had a sponsor. From what I understand, Ochsner was going to be the corporate sponsor. The PGA Tour was on board, the senior PGA Tour, for a fall event in New Orleans. And then the Four Kids Foundation got wind of it. And they're like, they call the PGA Tour and like, guys, y'all know New Orleans is a precarious situation. Our population in 1980 was 1.2 million. Our population today, 1.2 million. We have zero growth. We are stagnant. We have barely a pulse with our economy. The pie is only so big. We're a nonprofit. We're trying to raise money for kids' charities. If you bring in this group with their own sponsor, a competing tournament, they're only going to take a few slices of our pie, the existing pie. So we're getting $1. We're going to lose 25 cents to them, and they're going to get 25 cents. The dollar doesn't change. The charities still get the same amount of money, but you're hurting us and hurting our, way of going out and luring in the best pros and making the tournament the best it can be. So the PGA Tour was like, gosh, you're right. The Four Kids was like, even if we take it over, if we were to run it, we might barely increase the pie from, $100 from $1 to $1.10, $1.20. And we got to bust our butt doing it. And we're competing against ourselves. And it's just a precarious, difficult situation. So the PGA Tour is like, no, not going to do that. So the pie is only so big. And the PGA Tour, even with John Hilario, a senior PGA Tour event at City Park South, Ochsner was going to be the corporate sponsor. It was done. Once the Four Kids Foundation explained, like, guys, the pie's only so big and you're hurting us, the PGA Tour came to their senses and said, no, we're not doing that. Gail Benson and the Saints, same thing. The pie's only so big. Internally, they're like, we only can push and promote and develop the Pelicans so much. There are two teams. What is it? Caroline and the Pelicans have never gone into luxury tax. And there's never been an NBA team. The luxury tax is you're going over the salary cap and you have to pay a penalty for that. Any NBA team, first off, there are only two that haven't done it. Every single NBA team the last 10, 20 years that's won a championship or played for one, either that season, the season before, or the season after, they go over the luxury tax because they have to pay the players to get to the championship. I mean, it's fact. It's not an opinion. The Pelicans refuse to pay for a championship. They'll always be the ugly redheaded stepchild of the Saints.
Restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Mario Brothers, you ready for this? A buddy of mine sent me Cobb's Restaurant, which was on St. Charles Avenue right off of Canal Street it was around when I was a kid, probably closed, maybe I'm guessing about 30, 40 years ago. This is the menu from, it's a typed up menu. It's from Friday, October 25th, 1917. So about 108 years ago. Oyster, let's see. Oyster cocktail, 30 cents. Crab meat cocktail, 50 cents. Shrimp cocktail, 30 cents. Boiled crabs, iced, 35 cents. Lake shrimp, iced, 40 cents. Canopy Lorenzo, 50 cents. Creole gumbo with rice, 20 cents. With oysters, 25 cents. With turtle, 25 cents. Check out the entrees. This is the specials. Broiled sheep heads with fried potato, sheep's head. Fried tenderloin of trout. Broiled pompano. Beef daube with spaghetti. That was a New Orleans specialty. Beef daube with spaghetti. Boiled codfish with butter sauce. Veal stew with green peas. Fried tenderloin trout with tartar. Jambalaya. Broiled fresh roe with bacon. Cobb's special boiled beef plate. Half-broiled live lobster with butter sauce. Vegetable dinner. They had live lobster back in 1917 in New Orleans. Fried oysters with fresh spinach. Boiled fresh spare ribs with sauerkraut. It was a German joint. Fried lake croaker with bacon. Roast beef with red beans and rice. Baby trout with fried potatoes. Bratwurst with sauerkraut. Fried frog legs. Fried calf brains. Baked oysters. Roast prime rib of beef with mashed potatoes. shrimp salad, and then a bunch of specials like, vegetable sides, fresh spinach, green peas, red beans, lunch potato, sauerkraut, lunch celery, mushrooms, asparagus, lettuce, cauliflower, carrots, artichoke. The desserts look good. Pumpkin pie, peach pie, pecan pie, apple cake, cheese pie, apple pie, cup custard, tutti frutti ice cream, vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream, homemade cream cheese. Our portions served for 2, 10 cents extra. Cobb's Restaurant from 1917. Pretty interesting menu. Yep. Yep. That's Mario Brothers with doing something with his face there that we can't do on TV. Can't do that on TV. And you forgot to ask me about the thing with the age thing, Mario. You have to do it in the next break.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
I was saying my age, like social media, pretty much everybody's younger than me. Most people my age or older don't mess with social media, but I do. I do this show, so I have to. Video games. My age and younger, people play video games. My age and older, people don't play video games. I chose not to. I would not operate a controller. There's one other thing I can think of, Mario, where I'm on the line, like, younger than me, it's this. Older than me, it's another. I can't say it on the air.
Okay.
You have to ask me during the break.
Will do. That's the tease. Gotcha.
That's the tease. There's a line in The Wolf of Wall Street when DiCaprio's talking to Meathead from Archie Bunker. What's his name? Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
That's his dad in The Wolf of Wall Street. He talks to his dad about this specifically. And the dad's, I don't mind, because he's old school. And anyway, that's my hint, Mario Brothers.
Got you.
Hey, LGD Lawn and Landscapes put an artificial green and chipping area in my backyard at my house. If you go to my Twitter, my X at Corey Johnson, the pinned tweet or post is video of my LGD Lawn and Landscape green and chipping area in my own backyard. I go back there today and I'm still blown away. I'm like, wow, that's so first class. That's incredible. It's probably the nicest part of my house. If you play golf, you have kids, want a little entertainment in your backyard, let LGD Lawn and Landscapes install an artificial green or chipping area in your backyard. Or if you have a pool in the backyard and you have kids or dogs and you don't want puddles, tracking in dirt and mud into the house, have LGD Lawn and Landscapes install synthetic or artificial turf in your backyard right next to your pool. Go to NOLALGD.com and look at all the installations from all over the metro area. Zero maintenance. They use Sinlawn, the best in the industry. This artificial synthetic turf is the same as Tiger Woods uses on his TGL golf tour. Go to my Twitter, my X, at Corey Johnson, and check out that pinned video right at the top. LGD Lawn and Landscapes of New Orleans installed a putting and chipping green in my backyard. They can do the same for you. And much more affordable than you think. And it's incredible. NOLALGD.com. Go to their website right now. NOLALGD.com. I was driving down Causeway today, and this building's been here for 40 years. It's a pretty nice building. Channel 26 in there. I worked in that building. The Galleria in Metairie is very nice. There's a lot of medical buildings around it. They're named Galleria Plaza, whatever. I mean, it's a little area in Metairie. I don't know if you noticed or not, people, but that Galleria is unfinished. That building was, I think the developer was Robinowitz out of Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. And this is like 40 years ago. If you look at the Galleria, that's the middle building. You can see if you're on I-10, there's like a flat wall on one side and that big lot. That's where another little mini building that looks exactly like the Galleria, a curved glass building, was supposed to be connected into that building. So, the building you see is the tall centerpiece. There'd be a smaller little Galleria glass building on the I-10 side and then on the opposite side. And there's space there to build something where it's a flat side and you can tell it's unfinished. You think they would have put like glass panels up to make it look like the building. And then maybe we'd never know. We just think it's flat there architecturally, where the rest of the building's curved. No, there's supposed to be two similar looking curved glass buildings, tinted glass buildings on either side of the existing Galleria. Now it's kind of, that's never going to happen, I would imagine. Unless there was a major economic boom and, more office space was needed in Metairie. But what's interesting about the Galleria, and I realized this when I was working at Channel 26, that parking garage that sits under the main building was built not only for the main building, but the other two buildings that were never built on either side. So there are hundreds, if not thousands, of spaces that aren't utilized, that aren't needed. So the File Corporation out of New York, FIEL, looks like Feel. They own Lakeside. They own Lakeway 3. They own the Galleria. They own Gatehouse Apartments. They own Elmwood Warehouses. They own property in Orleans Parish. They're everywhere. They're gigantic. They're bullish on New Orleans and have been for half a century or more. They're smart. I mean, this parking garage is might be 10 stories at the Galleria. Like literally. Where that existing building probably needs like half that amount of parking. At best, they might have like 70% too much parking. They might need like 30% of what they got for people to park that work in the Galleria. No, they're smart. If you drive in the Galleria and park, like the first 2 or 3 floors at, say, noon will be full of cars. And then when you go up to, like, say, the 4th floor, there's a lot of space available. If you go up to the 5th, not a car parked there. It's empty. But then if you go up another floor or two, all of a sudden, it's totally full of brand new BMWs, of brand new Mercedes-Benz, of brand new Chevy trucks, of brand new Fords. These car dealerships in town rent the space to the Galleria. The Galleria proactively went out to these car dealerships and said, if you need covered, protected parking, security to get in and out, we've got the parking spaces for you. And I'm sure they charge them way less than they would someone parking there for work. I doubt it's the same as a monthly contract for employee because it's not just one employee or one business. It's hundreds and hundreds of vehicles that they park at the Galleria. Anyway, I just drove by the Galleria and I was like, boy, 40 plus years just unfinished. Supposed to be a little building on the I-10 side of the building and on the opposite side where it's flat. You drive by now and you look at it, you go, God, what Corey's saying makes sense. You can tell that's where, things were going to continue. You can even see the parking garage. It like ends and there's like wire where to keep a car from going over. That would be a continuation. You would be able to go into the other building with your car and maybe have some parking over there as well. So or access the parking garage from those other buildings. Anyway, Galleria unfinished after like 40 years, and it'll probably remain that way unless Metro New Orleans takes off in the next few years or whenever, like Houston, Dallas, Atlanta have been doing for 50 plus, like Austin, Nashville have been doing for the last 20. Maybe we'll one day get there where we have our Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, what together. Maybe. Boy, a slew of topics. Mackenzie Scott gives Xavier $38 million. Fantastic. I think she gave him $10 million just a few years ago. Epstein files will be released. We might find something out. I mean, it's kind of like the Kennedy files. I mean, I said this before they were released. I was like, okay, 2 things are going to happen. One, we're not going to find out anything new about the Kennedy assassination, but we will find out like kind of indirect or what would you call it? Things that aren't directly related, kind of incidentals. Like how the CIA operates, how the FBI handles things during, that's what we learned about. That's all. with the Epstein stuff, I think it's going to be the same thing, like how the feds operate. Nothing about Epstein, but maybe we'll see. Not expecting anything.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service, Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
New Orleans talk giant, Corey Johnson, on the neutral ground.
I'll have the entire city of New Orleans in the palm of my hand.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Oh, Mario, when I go to Trey Yen for lunch, I usually get that lunch special, the hot pepper chicken. I love it. I was thinking about dinner tonight. I might be lying across the causeway and go sit at the bar at Trey Yen, or call a buddy and drive over with him or her. Trey Yen for dinner. I like the lemon chicken, which is fantastic. It's a chicken breast chopped up. I guess it's actually a chicken breast that they lightly batter and flash fry, and then they slice it up, and then they coat it with this incredible, it's barely spicy, just this lemony, thick, tacky sauce that's just incredible. Lemon chicken at Trey Yen. What a great dinner entree. And I highly recommend, there's a bunch of little appetizer platters. I get this one called the Jade Garden Sampler. It's like $6, $7. It comes with a spring roll or an egg roll. You can choose. It comes with some butterfly shrimp and some of that sliced lean pork. I get some tung cho sauce on the side, that sweet and spicy signature sauce, the tung cho sauce from Trey Yen. And I dip the spring roll or egg roll in that. I dip the butterfly shrimp in that. I dip those lean slices of pork, then a little lemon chicken. I might put some of the lemon sauce on the fried rice on the side. I might put some tong cho. Trey Yen in Mandeville tonight for dinner. It's not Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. Trey Yen in Mandeville. So good. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X at the controls. Yeah, a lot going on, including nationally with Donald Trump. He called a reporter, quiet little piggy. That's what he called her. Quiet little piggy. Honestly, I mean, I Googled the reporter. Works for Bloomberg. She's skinny. She's skinny. Thank God for Trump, because if she was chunky or overweight, I think Trump might, even Donald Trump, I could shoot someone on Madison Avenue and get away with it. He might have gotten in a little trouble if she were chunky or heavy and called her little piggy. But seeing her, I think he was just like the big bad wolf. No, little piggy, you're not going to blow the house down, whatever. The opposite of the big bad wolf, I guess. The wolf would be blowing the house down. Quiet little piggy. Quiet little piggy. That's what he said. Quiet little piggy. Piggy. Trump's a trip. Says the troops are a possibility, might put boots on the ground in Venezuela. It's shocking that Maduro is still the president there when he didn't win. Saudi prince, was it MBS, says Saudi Arabia is going to invest $1 trillion. $1 trillion. That's 1,000 billion. $1,000 billion. $1 trillion into the United States. Like hearing that. Hey, Audubon Gutters, taking care of me, they can take care of you. Home and business owners, if you need gutters, go with the guys that only do gutters. For 35 years, the Gulf South's largest, the Gulf South's most experienced gutter installation company. They don't paint, they don't do roofs, they don't do siding, they don't do windows. They do gutters and gutters exclusively. And the gutters they put on your house feature the Leaf Guard system. It's a one-piece gutter. The only one-piece seamless debris shedding gutter on the market today. There literally is no competition. You'll hear commercials about these screens or covers that go on your existing gutter. Go online and look at it or watch the commercial. Leaves and debris end up being collected on top the cover or screen. So you have to go up there and sweep that off. May not be in the gutter, but it's still up on the roof. And it's holding moisture, which can lead to quicker, decay of your roof. Get the Leaf Guard system. Go with the pros. 35 years in New Orleans. AudubonGutters.com. A no-brainer. The gutters that are on my house. AudubonGutters.com. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Loyola University Student Court vacated the SGA's decision from prohibiting a Turning Point USA chapter on Loyola's campus. That's Charlie Kirk's group. That was the right move. Good job, Loyola University Student Court, because the Student Government Association made a mistake. It isn't about liberal or conservative. It's about a group that people on the campus wanted. They put it up for, recognition to get approved. And the SGA, because it's extreme right-leaning, they, doesn't line up with Loyola's values. They 86'd it. So good for the Loyola University Student Court to vacate that decision. O.J. Simpson's estate agrees to pay Ronald Goldman's father, Fred Goldman, nearly $60 million, like 57 point something million. It's about time, because O.J. heinously murdered his son. Junkett, Cantrell, and Jeffrey Vappie, both federally indicted, cannot have contact without an attorney present. That has to be devastating for them. And look, I'm not trying to garner sympathy for the mayor at all. Junkett, Cantrell's a nightmare. But if you're in love with someone and you can't see them, that's got to be harsh. But these two jackasses, they committed the crime, got to pay the piper. And I think the feds are right. They could collude, or they could even get married and therefore not have to testify against each other. So a judge agrees with them. Junkett Cantrell, I mean, if she is literally emotionally in love with Vappie, I would find it ridiculously hard for her to not contact him somehow, some way. So I would not be shocked in the next, because the trial's like a year away. Would not be shocked in the next month or 2 or 3 that Cantrell gets some kind of reprimand from the court, or even worse, because she contacted Vappie. Now, it's kind of scary when you think about Junkett Cantrell and Vappie in some kind of, personal relationship. Like, I don't want to think about that in my head, those two together, like sexually. But now the court's saying they cannot contact each other without an attorney present. So I'm thinking about some attorney in a 3-way. I'm going to be a eunuch after that, Mario. I have no sexual desire after thinking about that. Wow. Uh-oh. Got a special guest joining us. This is one of the smartest people in New Orleans. Some would argue if it's even a person. I think it's a person. It's Blue Boy. What up, buddy? Totally your best friend, the Australian Shepherd. Some scientists believe like they possess a gene that's in human beings. The Border Collies and Australian Shepherds, the only dogs to have this gene that humans have. We share a gene. That's why your buddy's so smart. Blue Boy, you're pretty darn smart too. See you tomorrow, New Orleans, right here, 4 o'clock.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.